Baldur's Gate 3, it's an anomaly.
Are you serious?
This war is far from over.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Like a lot of people, I am deeply excited about what the lovely folks at Larian have accomplished with Baldur's Gate 3. But I want to gently and preemptively push back against players taking that excitement and why do I sound like a bitch? Ah, right, yeah, because it's not me. You want to push back against players taking the excitement and using it to apply criticism or a raised standards to RPGs. It's not a raised standards, lads. You have to take into account that Larian has had many years to do this, so that they've had previous experience, which isn't fair. But you see, it's not a raised standard because they've had many years to do this, which isn't fair. They've had 2 massive previous games and their definitive editions with tech and knowledge and whatnot, and that's not fair. They've had a super successful early access period lasting 3 years, providing crucial community feedback, bug hunting, and cash flow. Also not fair. They have over 400 developers in 7 different offices around the world, brackets not including outsourcing partners, which is also not fair, obviously. Anybody with a brain would think that's not fair. The license, brand, and world of one of the largest entertainment IPs in the world, D&D, at the apex of its popularity with the rise of actual play movement and a movie. Again, not fair, they got IPs, it's like a Star Wars game. It was gonna do good anyway because of the IP, you know. This is a small and incomplete list. Now, Larian is going to this game swinging, lads. It's great. We'll be doing a lot of it and playing the hell out of it on my channel, but I need you to remember, they're doing it with an immense amount of wind. They've had a lot of help, like direct experience resources, like special tools and, equipment at their back, which is not fair. And you have to remember that in the era of mega gaming...
The mega game.
Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the largest attempted, lads, which is not fair. They're built by a specialized group of people, using mature tech specifically built to make this specific game, reinforced by invaluable mass player feedback and marketing validation ahead of its launch. Which isn't fair! So you see, this is not a new baseline of RPGs, because it's an anomaly, and it's not fair. Trying to do the same thing the same way, especially about the same advantages, could kill an entire group of studios. It's not fair. If they go big or bigger with their next title, Larian themselves could die. That's the risk and reward of the mega game. We are an industry dangling elephants over cliffs. So please, celebrate the achievement represented by Baldur's Gate 3. But it's not fair. And if you shout that every RPG needs to be as good as this one, and that we have no excuse, that you completely missed my point, that it's not fair. You've created the expectations and conditions to ensure your favorite creators may never be able to give you the thing you love again. Because it's not fair. And I don't have all of these things that Larian has. Jesus Christ, I'm too sober to be reading this stuff, dude. What the hell is this tweet? This is why I don't use Twitter. Okay, so I'm not gonna delve too deeply into this, because it's frankly really stupid. Although, not quite as stupid as the controversy revolving the ability to shag a bear in Baldur's Gate. Technically, it's a druid. I feel like that bit of context is required that a lot of the internet seems to be missing out lately. It's not actually a bear, it's just a dude that turns into a bear. Anyway, I digress, we're getting sidetracked. Back to the stupid. Back to the different kind of stupid. The tweet that I so graciously read out for you in completely a serious tone details what can basically be summed up to indie developers shouldn't be held to the same standards as AAA developers, which is kind of like saying, hey guys, I found this new thing, it's called grass and it's green. It's simply not something that required tweeting about, or even like forming of basic thought in human brain, because nobody with 2 brain cells to rub together has ever thought to themselves that Steve, working in his mum's garage, should be making the next Red Dead Redemption. Nobody has ever thought, why have you tweeted this? Why? Good heavens, it's stupid. It's so stupid. And then, after the internet loses its collective shit, and everyone makes all these clickbaity videos like the one I'm doing right now. The guy doubles down and releases some videos where he basically just repeats himself and kind of reveals where his mindset's at, and that is entirely corporate, entirely profit, and entirely scared of the risks associated with being held to a higher standard.
It's that money, risk. Big amount of money. $100 million. This guy sounds scared. I'm not scared.
If we were all held to this higher standard, we'd have to put more money into the game, and they might not be successful, because money doesn't equal quality, so therefore we shouldn't be held to the higher standard because it's potentially risky as a developer. So we should never hope for another Baldur's Gate quality game, because I'm sitting here trying to read the frickin' Lost Sea Scrolls, looking for hidden messages, trying to make sense of this. Because this guy's argument basically boils down to, don't hold us to a higher standard because that's scary and I don't want to lose money. What you are witnessing here, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who is afraid.
I'm not scared.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
He is afraid and insecure in a business which is cutthroat and not fair, which about sums up, like, pretty much every goddamn business that has ever existed. Not an observation that is remotely smart, unique, or new. It's basically me telling you about the green grass that's outside my house. Have you seen it, lads? It's on the floor. It's really I don't think anybody else has ever seen it before, but I definitely think that it's green. But the point is, this is really, really stupid. Everyone knows that grass is green. Nobody thinks that indie companies should be making the next Red Dead Redemption. No one is expecting this random guy on Twitter who nobody has ever heard of before to go off and make Baldur's Gate 4 with no resources, support, or fricking company to do it with. But this is the view through the prism of corporate greed, where the player cares about passion and the developer cares about money. As is to be expected in this industry. Because at the end of the day, these companies, the vast majority of them, only care about your money. With very few exceptions, and those are a dying breed. It's the reason this guy's views and his opinion here is so vehemently hated by basically every player that there is. Because we as the consumer want quality. When we're handed an excellent quality product, we want more of it. And moving forward, we will seek out that same level of quality. Where a mega billion multi-dollar corporation will, contrary to that, seek to sell you the cheapest product possible for the fullest price. It is not in their interests for your quality standards to go up. It is not in their interests for the bar to be raised. Because the higher the bar, the more money they have to put into it, the more risk there is. And at the end of the day, money is what's important. Not your feelings, not what you want, not the quality, money. And that mindset is the reason that this guy seems so out of touch with the player base. Because from his perspective, it's risk, it's money, it's a threat. It's not fair of you to raise the bar, because it's more difficult for him. It's not fair for you to want more, because it's more risk for him. This is a man who only sees the world through the perspective of business, of corporate greed. But I am here to tell you that he is right, ladies and gentlemen. He is entirely right. Baldur's Gate 3 is an anomaly, because it is too rare that we get a game that looks this damn good. It is too rare to see an RPG that actually gets me hyped about a video game for the first time in like 10 years. It is rare, ladies and gentlemen, for anything to make me do a video which is basically just an 8-minute rant about how the games industry is a bunch of greedy corporos. So I beseech you, dear viewer, if you're an RPG fan and you haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, I suggest that you do so. And I know what you're thinking, but Soul, Dungeons & Dragons is for nerds. I know. I have absolutely no clue about Dungeons & Dragons. I was on the fence for a long time about buying Baldur's Gate purely because I figured that I'd have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm doing and I probably wouldn't like it. I was wrong. I have never been more wrong in my entire life than the moment I bought that game and I was in love with it within an hour. If you are an RPG fan and you have ever listened to me about fricking anything, hell, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, and kudos to you, you're a Chad. What's the woman equivalent of... Never mind, there's only like 2% of you that are women. If you've made it to the end, I salute you. Now go buy the goddamn game. Seriously, just go buy it. You will not regret it. If you like RPGs, especially old school RPGs, or any kind of RPG, just RPGs, hand down. Ignore the fact that it's Dungeons and Dragons. I know, that's for nerds. Whatever. I don't do Dungeons and Dragons. I still love this goddamn game, okay? I still love this thing. Go buy it. Stop watching the video. Go buy it. Go away. Go on. What are you even waiting for? Why are you still here? Go away. Go on. Get lost. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Sold out. Go buy it. Big. Go on. Skip. Get. Psst. Get. Bad. Go.
This war is far from over.